Hello everyone, this is Astha from the Indian Statement team, and today I'm with an amazingly eminent personality from the hip hop industry. His raps address socio-political issues in his music videos like Death of Democracy and We in a Hindustan. His latest music video, Ek Taraf, is a token of encouragement to his listeners, and at the same time, it also spreads awareness about the Bengal Paralympics. He goes by the title EPR, which is an acronym for MC Poet Rap. So, welcome, EPR.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
I have been great. How was the day?
No, my day was great. It was nice. It was
Wow.
good.
I really hope that after this interview, your day goes better.
All right.
Yeah.
कौमियत हिप हॉप किसी में आर्टिस्ट्री की क्या है वैल्यू नशाखोरी वैलियम की या फिर एम्पलीफाई योर वॉल्यूम मुखर से वैसे मायूम तो सांप्रदायिक कानून वैसे में कैसे
So, without any further ado, let's start with the interview.
Okay.
The first question is, initially, you had to struggle with your IQ issues, and ironically, your grades in English were quite low. How did you cope up with your studies and at the same time manage to read so many books about psychology, philosophy, and so many other genres, then start writing your own music?
I think the educational system here in our country is a little bit twisted. It's rather we push our students to know things that somehow do not have value. I mean, like for example, if my interests were in the arts, I would be bogged down by books about science and stuff. If I was growing up and my interest would be in arts, where I would think about painting or anything or poetry or anything like that. But the environment is such that people actually bog you down with books about science. No, you have to become a doctor, you have to become a scientist. If you do not become that, you're less of a man or less of a woman, or you would not get appreciated anywhere. So these are the things that affect your mindset a lot. So the thing that's always talked about me is that I had IQ issues. I never had IQ issues. What I used to have was I used to read books which were beyond my syllabus. Basically read books that were, I mean, like when I was in class 8 or class 9, I would read quantum physics at that point of time. When I was in class 8, class 9, I was a huge physics fan. So I would read, books by Stephen Hawking or Michio Kaku or about quantum physics when people were teaching me about electromagnetism. So the thing that obviously when I write something on whatever that I learn, people think that I'm trying to, give away some extra information and stuff like that. So I used to always get low grades everywhere till a point of time where I understood that I need to just get my grades up and then do whatever that I want to do when I have the power to do so. So yeah, so that's the deal. And I think that we all should encourage people to choose their own path. I mean, like we're all different people, and we have different attributes and different persona and different likings. So we should not force someone to become an engineer just for the name's sake. So we should actually see what kind of a person he is and what he likes, and then we should actually cultivate the sense for liking or the sense for seeking knowledge in it. So
Yeah, exactly. So Q was released recently and it featured your beloved one. And as you know, the annotations and meaning of the song depends on the listener. What inspired you to turn Q, which could have easily been a very simple love song, into such a deep song with so many layers to scrape?
See, that's exactly when I started writing. My father used to always tell me that always write or make music to express and not impress. And so that's what I mean. Like Q is exactly something. It's a piece of my heart. All right, and And no matter how many simple love songs we listen to or relate with, we can never say that love is simple. It is not. I mean, it's got so many layers in it that you cannot express in words. I mean, no matter how hard I try to explain it with whatever literary technical thing, be it alliteration, be it in the form of a sonnet, be it acrostic poem, be it abstract poem, be it blackout poetry or whatever. I mean, like, no matter what you try, it cannot be expressed because that the feeling is so deep. So in Q, I really wanted to give a piece of my heart. I mean, like, if you follow a pattern of my songs, most of my songs are not complex. I mean, like, generally most of my songs talk about socio-political issues. I mean, like, if you know about the current affairs of a country, you would actually get it. So either they are socio-political or either they are storytelling. I mean, like, for example, like when I talked about Lakshmi Agarwal in Agnipat, or when I talked about Hang Pang Dada and Badlu Ram Ka Badan. So either storytelling or, socio-political. So there was this another scope is like where I really wanted to talk about my life and things that inspire me and things that I see, right? So that the
Mm-hmm.
first of those songs were like Srinivana EPR, which I sang in the finale. And Q is one of such songs. I mean, Q is, I'm saying it like directly because love is complicated and it's complex. And to me, it's like that. And I wanted to express it that way. So rather than expressing it in the most cliched way ever, and obviously I did not want it to sound like someone else is singing. I mean, I'm really, if you really read my poetry, I'm
Mm-hmm.
very particular about choosing my words. It's like, I use words that have never been used before, or something that people do not use. So yeah, so it's very close to my heart. So Q is something like that.
All right. So the next question, you would like to continue?
No, no, it's okay. I said what I wanted to say.
Yeah, so I'd like to add that Q has been very, very close to my heart since the song has been extremely deep and it really touched the core of my heart. So you were somewhere able to get your message across. So the
Yeah.
third question that I would like to ask you is, your latest music video, Ek Taraf, released very
Yeah.
recently. Congratulations for that.
Thank you so
And
much.
you try to capture, yeah, so the video description says, and I quote, you try to capture the very will of fire inbuilt in all of us to overcome against all odds that life has to offer to us. So as
Yeah.
we see in the music video, and the lyrics say the same as well, the song has strings with the Bengal Paralympics. What
Yeah.
did you have in mind while creating the music?
Like I said, I mean, it was not like a theme song that people generally do. So what I was relating to is like a lot of people know about the fact that like in 1 year I have a hearing disability, right? And I can only hear about like 60 to 70% in one of my ears. So what I'll tell you about it because I was diagnosed with this disease called cholesteatoma, and I got operated. And at one point of time, I was almost deaf by 1 year, and then I was operated on, and then a surgery was conducted, and I went through a very painful process of recovering and everything. And there were certain situations in my life where I actually thought that music wouldn't be possible by me because years. I mean, like if you lose your hearing, I mean, like it's gone for you, and really for a musician. So all these thoughts were in my mind, and then suddenly I see I come across these people. I mean, these superbly talented, amazing Paralympians who were in my circuit. I mean, like they were friends of my friends, and it automatically related to me. Why? Because I'm like them, and they're like me. And the only part which is differentiating is the fact that they're struggling. So basically,
Mhm.
yeah. So I had this hearing disability, and my friends were the ones who are associated with Civilian Welfare Association. And they told me stories about these athletes who were like really struggling to make their daily livelihood. I mean, like, most of them, they earn about like 7,000 per month. I mean, even after winning like, so many medals. There was one guy who won about like 19 national medals. And I really felt sad. And I really felt sad. At the same time, I really wanted to help them in whatever way that I can. And so that's why I wanted to make something on them. And I did that. And so, yeah, it was like with every song, I try to portray a message, and I try to talk about things that people do not talk about. So that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, Ek Taraf is a lyrical masterpiece, and what's stronger is the message behind the music video. So thank you so much for creating such an amazing music video and
Thank you
such
so
a
much.
beautiful rap. So your raps are mostly protest poetries. You talk
Yeah.
about issues that people are afraid to address. What made you
Yeah.
release an entire album named Protest Poetry?
I've been doing protest poetry since I was really small. When I was in school, also I got inspired from Rage Against the Machine and System of a Down. So I really wanted to do something for my country, so that my music is not just for the sake of entertainment as well, so that it helps people or to make people aware of certain things that the media doesn't talk about or we do not talk about. So so I've been doing that for a long time. And after Hustle, when I actually took a chance, that I really wanted to take protest poetry to the next, to the masses, basically. So at every episode of Hustle, I really took out a song and delivered a message, and that got accepted widely by the Indian audience. And just after that, and I dropped my, first solo album, that was called Protest Poetry. It had 17 tracks. So what I wanted to do was like, I really wanted to take all those songs, and I wanted to create a new niche, like, for example, I mean, like if you ask a layman, what is hip hop to you? That person would say, hip hop is where people are rapping inside big, huge cars, expensive cars, and there are models dancing around. I really wanted to break that stereotype. I really wanted Indian hip hop to be more. I mean, like, and I also wanted that people who are getting inspired should have different options. I mean, like, if you continuously portray an image of a person who is coming on your TV and he is just rapping in front of skinny clad models, or booze or guns or big cars, okay, the guy who's growing up watching those videos wants to become that. I mean, like, we become whatever we see on TV, right? And
Yes.
and I really wanted to break that stereotype that they are shown. I mean, like the life which is being shown on television. I mean, most of the people did not even own those cars, just rented models, and so many layers of things, that falsehood that the guy buys. I mean, like the small kid who's looking up at all those things, and he's like, I need to do drugs to become
idolize
a big.
these people.
Yes, idolize. I mean, like, to people idolize, like, okay, if you're, and they have this preconceived notions, right? Okay, like, okay, if you're if you listen to rock music, then you're a druggie. I mean, if you listen to reggae music, then you're addicted to weed. And if you do if you do hip hop music, it means that you use slangs and you cuss everyone, and you are into gangs and shit like that. So I really wanted to break that stereotype, and I really wanted to present a new option to the Indian audience. I mean, like, for people who really want to talk about reality. So after that, after my stint at Hustle, and after my album got released and everything, now there is a definite genre called protest poetry, where a lot of people are getting into it, and they're talking about things. They're talking about this country, they're talking about our people, they're telling stories. I mean, suddenly it's not, you will never see, like, previously Indian hip hop, I mean, like, kids were like, okay, they were They were probably here in Calcutta and they would be like, saying, okay, I'm from West Coast or Snoop Dogg and stuff like that. Now, what I see is like these people are talking about Netaji, or these people are talking about Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in their songs. So that is the change that I wanted, and I've been successful a little bit, and let's see how it goes.
Yes, absolutely. So now, apart from being an amazing rapper and reading books about philosophy, what are your hobbies?
Hobbies. I like to watch anime. I'm a big anime head,
Oh,
and we are
yeah.
called an otaku for that because, yeah, I love anime, and I listen to all kinds of music. I mean, like I have a rock band as well. I've been with a rock band for 10 years. I mean, before I was a rapper, I
Wow.
was into a rock band. So yeah, so all of that. I mean, like I miss doing shows right now because live gigs are like done. I mean, like because after the lockdown has started, it's become very less live. There are no live gigs anymore, and I hope that the situation betters up soon so that the people who like performing like me get up on the stage and start performing again. And apart from painting, and I really you know I used to do a lot of theater when I was back in my college. So I love theater as well, and I still hang out with my theater group. And these are the things I do. I mean, like I keep myself immersed in arts, and if you actually see like all the videos that I take out, they have my active participation. I mean, like it's not that I just tell some video guy to do my video and the video guy does it for me. It's not a, it's basically my participation, my vision that comes into being. So I keep myself immersed in all kinds of arts. So yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing answer. Like, I mean, you are an all-rounder. So, every artist receives hate, especially the ones whose themes are out of the ordinary. So,
Yeah.
how do you cope up with such negative feedback or criticism?
I get weird kind of hate. I mean, firstly, the I would not call it hate. The first kind of hate is when I'm talking something about your favorite political party. Okay, for a
Mhm.
person, if I talk something about his favorite political party or the political party he follows, he will end up talking something bad about me. So I did not consider that as hate. But then again, what if that person actually comes and tells me, I engage with him on a debate and I make him understand, or he makes me understand. I mean, whichever way works, because I believe that we are the world's largest democracy and we should actually engage more in debates rather than fights with swords or guns or anything like that. I mean, like, I think that a lot of things could be solved via verbal debates, and only if we are, if we are a little more sensible. So I engage all my those kind of haters who think that I've dissed their political party or something like that. So I engage them in a debate, and then they end up being good friends of mine as well. And the other kind of hate that I receive is, since my songs are a little complex, and since my Hindi is kind of, they not understand what I'm saying, or rather, they do not want to know what I'm saying. So those are the two
Exactly.
kinds of hatred that I receive, and I believe that it's okay. I mean, like, it's not. I've never said that my music is for the mass. I mean, there are people who make music for masses, and they keep their lyrics very simple, and so that they can reach a lot of audience. Mine is a little bit different. My goals are completely different. I always wanted to target a group of people who were really were wanting to talk about issues in the country fearlessly. I mean, like, not a lot of people want to talk about politics. Let's be honest about it, because
Yes.
for a lot of artists, talking about politics is like a boring issue, right? To a lot of laymen also, if you talk about politics, it's like it's really boring. But for me, it's not. So I'm targeting those people who who want to give a message uh, to the Indian audience. And I mean, like, I really want to use hip hop as a tool to spread awareness. So my message also resonates with those people who think like me. So yeah, I do not think that I've gotten enough hate. Just the two kinds of hate that I keep on receiving. I mean, like even the ones who actually say that they do not listen to my music, but they also call me a dope artist. So somewhere down the line, I feel that you know, everybody respects me for the work that I do, and apart from that, I think everything is cool. Everything is cool because I am mostly a neutral person. I do not get engaged into like beefs and distract battles and stuff. I've only dissed once. So yeah. Anyway.
Yes. So you have mentioned this earlier. You have won against a disease called cholesteatoma.
Yeah.
After a rest of 3 months, you finally went for the Hornbill International Contest. So, what was the most peculiar memory from that time?
Uh, the most peculiar memory was, you know, at that point of time, our band was bankrupt. I mean, like there was a time where we used to do 100 shows a year, and suddenly when I went sick, all the shows started dropping, and my band said, we will wait for the vocalist to come back. I mean, they would wait for me to come back, and we lost out on a lot of shows, and we had gotten a lot of advances for the shows that we were supposed to do, and we had to return all our money, and then our first album was also happening, so we were almost bankrupt. And by the time I did my surgery and I was recovering, we lost out on a lot of shows, and then I was recovering, and then suddenly I saw this Facebook post, and where it was written that India's best rock band competition is happening, and the first prize is 10 lakh rupees. I mean, like 1 million rupees. So, and it was an international competition, and it's the biggest competition, rock band competition in the country. So I told my band, let's go. I mean, just go and compete in there. So first, my band said that, why should we even compete? Because generally, the bands who do not have recognition, I mean, like who want recognition, they compete, right? But
Yes.
we were a band who had already become popular because we had come like 2 years before, we had come on India's Got Talent season 2, and we were the finale. Well, we were in the finale,
Wow.
and we were the top finalists there, and we were performing. I mean, like we were the guest performers everywhere. We used to headline all the festivals and all the colleges and stuff like that. We had done NH7 and stuff like that. So many things. So at that point in time, our band was like a little bit weird, and they said that no, they don't want to go and compete. But I said that let's go and do that. And when I went there in Hornbill, we performed our songs, and the record still holds. I mean, like I won the best vocalist, my bassist won the best bassist, my drummer won the best drummer, my guitar player won the best runners-up guitar player, and we won the best band. I mean, till now, I don't think anybody has broken that record, and it's
Yeah.
that's what that's something really motivating, and that's really that's a life lesson learned. I mean, like if you even
Yeah.
life will throw you like stupid hurdles. I mean, like life is going to be cruel. It's going to be harsh. I mean, it's not a bed of roses for you to sleep on or walk on. It's going to be hard, and it's going to put you down. And there are going to be moments in your life where everything is over, where you think everything is over. But at that moment, if you keep on going, and if you can persevere or endure and keep on moving forward, that is where victory waits for you. That's the same thing I talked about Ik Taraf. I mean, like if had I thought that my career in music is over, I don't think I would be here right now. I mean, I and another thing is like I started doing actively music at 2005. I was the same guy. So when I was doing protest poetry, then nobody used to give a shit. When I went into India's Got Talent, people just took the part that okay, there's a rapper in a rock band, and okay, he used to rap. And then also they did not notice protest poetry. After releasing a lot of songs with the band, little people started to get about protest poetry. And then when I went into Hustle, then people started to okay, that this is Toto's poetry and this is something he's talking about, mm, real things. I mean, like for me, I've been talking about it for 15 years, so it takes a lot of time. So, and I did not give up. So that's my message to everyone. I mean, like life will throw different hurdles at you. Just keep on going and keep on believing in yourself or in your music or in your arts or in your dreams. Just keep on going. That's it. Jo teri zid ho ek taraf.
Okay. So from your mention of
Yeah.
MTV Hustle, we will be going to the next
Yeah.
question. Why
Yeah.
did you not choose to be a host of MTV Hustle and rather join as a contestant there? Like, what did you have in mind?
I mean, who would not? I mean, like anybody who would have been in my place would have done so. I mean, it's when I was like, I'm a hardcore hip hop fan. It's not that hip hop saved my life. I believe that hip hop gave me a reason to live and a reason to fight on, right? So for a hip hop head like me, it's always been a dream. I mean, like back in 2005, I had to explain it to people that, this is hip hop music. This is different from singing, and we are actually making sense, and we are not blabbering anything. We are not just speaking fast, we are making sense out of it. So from those days itself, I had this dream of seeing Indian hip hop win on national television. And it took a lot of time, but then it was when it was actually happening, why wouldn't I just compete? I mean, like, I really wanted to compete a lot, and I really wanted to push myself. I mean, like, I was the only, like, apart from him, I was the only 30-year-old there. He, I think, is like 29 or something like that. But
Yeah.
like, I was like the oldest one around there. So probably like my age is like Raftar is 1 year older to me. So you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that I was basically an old guy getting into a competition of youngsters. I mean, like most of the people over there were 20, 21, 22, 23. And for me, I did not give any, you know, I did not give any thought about it. I just wanted to go and compete because I love hip hop music, and it was really a pleasant sight to see, uh, that a television show would allow rappers to rap their own songs, and every week you have to keep on bringing in new
Yes.
songs. That was just amazing. That was something. I mean, like, even my mom and dad were tired of singing reality shows where they keep on singing the same old songs and the same old cover songs. And you know a lot of singer songwriters also are tired of that thing, because people want you know their songs to be sung as well. I mean, like, a lot of different poets or a lot of people write their own songs as well, and they do not only want to sing covers, they also want to sing their own songs. So in Hustle was a groundbreaking reality show where, you know where you open up an episode on MTV, you see 15 people singing out 15 different original tracks written by them and composed by them, and for the first time, and I mean, like, in Indian history, that has happened, and that's why I believe the show worked a lot. It was a lot of risk, but then again, the risks were really worth it.
All right. So now the next question is, your fans really love you, and I hope you know
Yeah.
that. You have made a lot of fan arts, and we have been going through your Instagram profile, and every now and then we see you thanking your followers for making fan arts or loving you so much. So, what is the craziest thing about them, or what is the most heartwarming thing that they have ever done for you?
I mean, what I uh, really like about my people are my people. I mean, like, the people who appreciate my music or do fan arts and stuff like that. They're very sweet, and that's why I keep on posting their arts. And and if you see that, I forget there's an artist image or something like that. I chat with my friends, and I do not consider them as my fans. I mean, like, I just consider them as supporters of my music, supporters of my cause, and a part of my family. So you can see me chatting with my fans every now and then, here and there, and probably even hanging out with them in real life. So they've done a lot of things. They've done weird things. They've done crazy, heart-wrenching things as well. So everything is good. Everything is good. I mean, like from fan arts that they draw to one fan coming up on my door and saying that that fan wants to marry me, and that fan
Wow.
actually had her
Oh,
dad
wow.
along with her. So all those things have happened, but that's just a part of life. I mean, like for me, I'm like, I just want to make my music. I just want to keep on making music for my people or the people who support me a lot, and that's it.
Yeah. So, have there been any interesting events in your life that got you into rapping? Like, what fled the passion?
I mean, I always wanted to write because the thing is, like, I was a very introverted person, and the only way an introverted person could actually pen down his thoughts was to pick up the pencil or pen and just write whatever down or whatever that he is feeling from his heart. So the art of writing was actually the art of expressing your thoughts was actually introduced to me by my teacher and my bio teacher basically. So she was also she used to read my diary a lot, and she used to tell me that you got a flair for writing. I mean, like, why don't you pursue writing in general? And the more the more she promoted the fact that I should actually take up English seriously or writing seriously, the more I thought that maybe I should actually read up different poetry, and maybe I should try out different styles of poetry. So that's how I got into writing, and then music, and then probably rock music, and then rap music in general.
All right, that's a crazy ride there. So, your current project is Reggae Hindustan, and we have always known your love for reggaeton music, and you have already named 4 of your tracks. What can we expect from the coming tracks?
Uh, when So basically, I love reggae music, of course, yes, and I I I actually I don't know if it's inventing or something like that, but I really fused a lot of languages because in reggae music they talk with the Jamaican accent, right? And I was obviously
Mm-hmm.
influenced by it and how they pronounce their stuff and how they stress on syllables or vowels like A and O to rhyme everything. So I really wanted to take that and implement that in Hindi and have a reggae style. And that's how I started doing tracks like Rastaman or Rastafari or Bed of Democracy here. So, of course, yes, I really wanted to take that. Like protest poetry is completely a different style, right? So my reggae Rasta style is completely different. So that's another musical side of me. And also in Reggae Hindustan, I'm going to blend in more musical genres as well. If you actually see, like the 4 tracks that I released, all of them are like completely different. And like for example, EIA is a very aggressive reggae track. DOD is a very satirical reggae track where basically Arnab's voice has been used, and I talk about a lot of serious
Yeah.
issues, but the beat sounds like a very happy, it's like a very happy sound of it. So that's satire. So
Yes.
so on one end, you have the aggressive mood of EIA, where I'm actually making people aware of the Environmental Impact Assessment Act of 2020. Another end, I have this comical thing when I'm making fun of everything that is happening. Third is the lo-fi sound of Q, or lo-fi love song Q. I mean, that is completely not reggae, but then again, I really wanted to add some more flavor to it because I really firstly I thought that I would only keep on reggae music, but then again, I I thought that the Indian audience is very, very finicky and very skeptical about those things. I cannot try those things because if I make an album full of reggae music, the people might not, because anyways, people have a trouble understanding my lyrics. And then if I add the reggae accent to it, then they have another set of problems. So I really wanted to keep more genres into it. So Q was a lo-fi love track, and Ek Taraf is a very experimental track because
Mm-hmm.
if you listen to the hook has a different melody and a different mood to it, and the verses have a different mood to it. If you see the verses are aggressive and the hook is very soothing and very mellow. And the next track that I'm going to do is I'm going to leak a exclusive information, and that is it's something that I'm trying out for the first time. I don't know if it's going to be successful or not. So basically, the next track of mine is called Metal Back. It's a storytelling track. It's a simpler one. I mean, like everybody will understand for sure. So yeah, the next
Okay.
track, Metal Back, is a very simple track. It's a very storytelling track. Since the last two tracks were very complex and a lot of people were like, bro, take it easy on us. We can't decode and stuff like that. It's really heavy. So the next track in my mind was a very simple track. It's a storytelling track, and it's a very simple track. But then again, the story is of someone which you have to know the story first. So one day before the release, I'm gonna tell the name of the person, and everybody can look it up, and everybody can see the story of a person. And so it's going to be a storytelling track. But the kind of music that I'm going to
Yeah.
try out for this track is I'm going to try sitar, hard rock, metalcore, trap music. I mean, like this is the first time I'm trying that. I mean, it's going to have that hard rock, metalcore feel,
Wow.
also having Indian classical elements like sitar, and it's going to have that storytelling feel. So also, I'm like trying to do a lot with genres. I'm also experimenting with genres as well because I like all kinds of music. I listen to a lot of kind of music, and I should not be limited to a particular sound, and it should keep on evolving. So that's the next track. And for the other tracks of the album, I mean, like Raggae Hindustan is, I'm still confused with either putting 17 or 18 tracks or to put it or limit it to 13 tracks. And I plan to release everything by April, May. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
final thought of mine. Till then, I'm going to keep on releasing one single track because generally, I cannot afford to release all my tracks at a go. Because if I do that, people are just gonna, they're just gonna not know what is happening because all most of my tracks are very complex and stuff like that. So you need
Yes.
space to understand each and every track. So yeah,
Yes. Obviously. So now we come to the fun part, that is the rapid fire round.
yeah,
Let me just, like the rules are really simple. Let me just explain it in one go. I'll be asking you a set of questions and you'll have to answer them with like under not more than 10 seconds. So yeah,
yeah,
since you're a rapper, how many
yeah.
questions can we get through rapidly?
As many as you want.
Oh, that's that's cool. All right. So the first question is, you have collaborated with various artists like Void, Karma, Bombay Beat Broadcast, etc. So who do you look forward to collaborating in the future?
Raftar, Ikka, Karma again. So these are always my three top collaboration list. I mean, like Raftar, Ikka, Karma.
Oh, wow. All right. So you have regarded yourself as an activist on your social media and you're living up to your title. So, like, what significance does activism hold in your life?
Activism is everything. It's like the life support. If my music doesn't make sense, then I think that I'm not doing music the right way. So I am an artist, and my music is a part of me, and it is activism.
All right. So, as an artist, who's your inspiration in this industry?
Any and everything. I mean, I take inspiration from any and everything. everything everywhere. So so just because I listen to I talk about boring things in life doesn't mean that don't listen to K-pop music. I listen to K-pop music as well. So there's something in K-pop music that I might like and I might try out on the new song. Or supposedly I'm just because I'm a hip hop artist doesn't mean that I listen to hip hop all the time. Sometimes I'm like I draw inspiration from Sufi music as well. Sometimes I'm probably watching a cheesy Bollywood
Wow.
movie and I draw inspiration from that as well. So any and everything in life, I believe that I think that holds the key to inspire everyone. I mean, like you don't need to actually. I mean, like this whole notion of things that people say, to write a good poem, you need to sit beside a pond. You need to have itna bada chai ka cup, and then you need to have clear skies and stuff like that to write a good poem. No, it's not. These things are not necessary. So, I mean, like, if you have a pen and pad, or if you do not even have a pen and pad, you can just write it. I mean, like, probably anything can inspire me to write. So I draw inspirations from everything.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, which song of your album is the closest to your heart?
Yeah. Which song
Yeah.
of mine is closer to my heart?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Q is very close to my heart because it speaks about my heart.
Yeah. All right. So, since you have an adamant love for reading, which book would you recommend to us?
Which book? It depends on what you want to read. I mean, like if you like science, then I would really suggest you to read Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time. And if you want to, if you like science fiction, then you can read Lord of Light. And yeah, there's so many books. I mean, like I keep on reading so many books. So yeah, just pick up a book and read.
All right. So, if you could visit any place in India right now, where would you like to go?
I just want to go to the mountains. I mean, like wherever you put me. I mean, like Eastern
Yeah.
Himalayas, Western Himalayas, whether you take me out in Sikkim or whether you leave me in Himachal Pradesh, I just love the mountains. So just put me there in the
Yeah.
mountains. That's the only place I want to visit. And that's the only place I keep on visiting.
Yeah. Sikkim reminded me that a few months back you went for the shooting of Q in Sikkim, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, that was a wonderful moment. All right.
Yeah.
So now comes the fun part. You need to break down any one verse from your latest music track, that is Ek Taraf.
Yeah, you tell me
Like breaking down the
which
meaning.
like which line do you want me to break down? I'll break it down to you. Whichever, if there's a particular line, or do you want me to choose any line?
You can choose any main verse that you feel like your
Okay, fine.
the audience that listens would really like.
I'll break down the first four lines. I mean, like of my first verse, rate quantity or talab quality hamesha.
All
So
right.
basically, so here goes the first few lines, right? So the first line is rate quantity or talab quality hamesha. Now it's not that complicated, right? We all say that we have heard rappers saying, कि मेरे में quality है, quantity नहीं चाहिए मुझे, and stuff like that. We have always seen people bragging about, quality, and people talking about quantity and stuff like that. So quantity and quality are some things which are always there. So what I did was, Raekwon is a rapper. Like it's a famous old school rapper. He's one of my favorite rappers as well, from the Wu-Tang Clan. And Talib Kweli is also another rapper. So basically, if you see Raekwon, the Kwan part sounds a little like quantity ka Kwan, right? So I've fused two parts. So rate quantity or Talib quality hamesha. It means that basically I bring the quantity of Raekwon's music, or the quantity and Talib Kweli's quality hamesha. So I bring quality and quantity both. So it's not one side that I'm giving. And the next line is Vishesh philosophy na kichu Socrates ki riksha. Now, Vishesh philosophy is like one thing that there's so many hidden meanings in that. Vishesh is basically Vishesh, like it's a special thingy, and also Vishesh is Vishesh, which means that a lot of people say that I look like Brother V for some reason. So that's what I'm saying. Vishesh philosophy na khichu Socrates ki rickshaw. Now Socrates, we all know, like philosopher, Greek philosophy and stuff like that, and how much value he has. So basically, I am saying that I do not try to appease my critics. Whatever that I bring, whatever songs that I bring, I do not need to appease my critics, which is why I'm saying that Socrates is like a wordplay. Socrates is like 100 critics. So I would not like to pull the rickshaw of Socrates and stuff like that. So which basically means that I bring quality and quantity both, and I will not make songs to appease my critics. So those are the meaning of the first four lines.
All right. I mean, the breakdown was pretty deep, and that just shows just how many layers you add to your lines. Even though it just feels like, oh, it's a simple line, but then you try to break down the lyrics and then you understand the intensity of what you're trying to convey. So kudos on that part. Now, the last rapid fire question is, we can never doubt your rapping skills, but let's just check how fast you can come up with the lyrics. Create a rap in 10 seconds on anything that you can see right now. Anything like around your room or anywhere, like anything.
Yeah, you can actually see. The thing is that we call that thing freestyling. I mean, like we don't even need 10 seconds to do that. I mean, so basically what I tell you is like you and we rappers can actually go on. I mean, like the ones who actually know how to freestyle, they can actually go on and on and on and on and on. I mean, those lyrics are not something that would make sense, but then that is a rap anyway. So yeah, you can tell
Yeah.
me 3 words and I'll go on to it.
All right, three
Just
words.
3 words.
You want 3 words?
Yeah, any 3 words.
All right.
And I will not take an extra second. Don't worry. 3 words,
All
just
right.
3 words.
Okay. So the first word is let me think. Okay. So the first word is Hindustan. Second word is Indian Statement. That is our magazine. So Indian Statement, whatever you think the significance
Yeah.
might be. And social media. Yeah.
Social media. All right. I'm making an announcement on Indian Statement, and that's called an Elan. That is my next album, which is called Raggae Hindustan. It is my fifth. And so, I do not hold a microphone, but I can cause a cyclone every time I really speak, whether it be a Zoom call or whether it be wherever you are. I'm saying hi to you all. This is EPR. I don't play the guitar, but then again, I got so many rhyme schemes and I forgot the third word, but then again, I'm trying to think about it first. But then again, I have to rap about it because that's my statement. And in India, I think we are locked up in oblivion. So, we can see actually Cassini's division, which is another Saturn's ring. So this is the thing that I bring. And every time this is rhythm and poetry. And I'll ask you all to flow with me. And if you cannot flow with me, you won't be in this democracy called India again. And we had a Republic Day. We had something really bad things happening yesterday. So it goes on and on and on and on and on. So it's very.
It was so good. It was so good. Thank you so much.
It just keeps on going. I mean, like that's what we
Yeah.
do for practice. I mean, like we just take in words and we just move here and there, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was so cool. Okay, so I'd just like to add one more question to your rapid fire since you told me that you like anime. What is your favorite anime character?
Favorite anime character. My favorite anime character would be. I'm confused. I have two favorite anime characters. And one would be obviously Naruto Uzumaki from
Mm-hmm.
the Naruto Boruto universe, and another would be an anime that I don't think most people have watched. It's basically called Rurouni Kenshin, and the protagonist of it is Kenshin Himura. So these two characters are very close to my heart.
All right. So with this, we are done with the entire set of questions. And like I got, by the way, I just got like a few pictures printed of yours.
Okay. Oh, thank you
I
so
don't
much.
really feel like, yeah. I mean, I just got them printed because like I researching about your music. I really loved it, and it was really moving to be able
Thank
to
you so
interview
much.
you. Yeah. So on an end note, I would like to say that you answered all the questions really beautifully. You described each and everything so well. Thank you for elaborating your journey, your poetry, your art with us. And yeah, it's an absolute honor to be able to interview such an eminent personality like you, just so talented on that part. So thank you so much. And yeah, I hope you
Thank you
have
so
a
much.
great
It was a
night.
pleasure of mine. Yeah, absolutely. Bye bye. See ya.
Bye. Thank